19 years. 19 long years this motorcycle sat. When I was 19, I was riding my very first bike, experiencing the joy beyond words, that visceral freedom and forbidden dangers, the kind that only really exist in that first year of motorcycle riding. Round about the same time I was starting my life-changing journey on two wheels, this bike story was coming to an end, or perhaps a pause, we'll call it. Can a motorcycle's journey really ever end? Surely one that's sent to the crusher or stripped for parts, we can call that life over, but this one? A bike that's whole, even abandoned for 19 years. So long as there's someone willing to funnel their own energy into it, that story is never over. It's just a book that's been set down for a spell. Just like every book has vast universes, distant lands, thousands of lives lived, loved, and lost, all locked in their pages, boiling and seething between the covers, eager for a reader to set them free. Books are magic in this way, needing only the last ingredient, the human imagination, to let their infinite potential burst free, and I feel the same way about motorcycles. This random collection of steel, aluminum, and fiberglass, this is kinetic energy restrained. This is 100,000 miles of triumphs, heartbreaks, and adventure. When I look at a bike, even one under inches of dust and grime, left to molder and rot, I see a lifetime of stories yet untold. I see a maelstrom of fiery lightning roiling beneath the surface, eager to be set free, and its only conduit can be the rider. A book lacks only a reader with the imagination to set its worlds free, and a motorcycle lacks only a rider to write yet another story. Under the hoary grime and neglect that this bike was covered in, I believe I found a book that's worth finishing. And after 19 years, with a little help from my friends, let's start the next chapter. What's up, weirdo? Shade Tree Surgeon here, and after 19 years, 19 long years, 19, a very special number, this Kawasaki KZ1000 Police is back on the road. Not only is it back on the road, but this thing freaking rips, dude. Last of the Interceptors, baby. KZ1000P exploding onto the streets after a 19-year slumber. It is just a testament to how tough this bike is, that it could literally have been off the road for 19 years, have carbs that look like it did, just absolutely neglected, sat in a corner. It was inside, so it had that going for it, but holy crap, a carb clean and some brakes later, and this thing feels like it's brand new, baby. Well, maybe not brand new, but it feels pretty nice. Fucking nerds! Nerds on Harleys now! We're Kawasaki! We're Team Kawasaki now, baby! I can't believe after that long this thing just fires right up and goes down the road smooth as you want. And I haven't even cracked the throttle wide open yet. This thing really moves. Of course, my man Joe, the Ozark Mountain Wizard, also removed all the smog from it and tuned the carbs accordingly, so it's running like it should, not like they wanted it to. Hell yeah. 50% of the time, every time. Dude, can you believe this thing fucking runs?
A mile back.
This is his first time on the road in 19 years.
Fucking rad, dude.
It's so fast. It's ridiculous. I fired it up last night and did a burnout all the way down the fucking block, man. The only thing that's mildly concerning right now is that the tires on this motorcycle also haven't been on the road in 19 years. So, I think we'll stay off the highway for right now. Uh-oh, it's the real fuzz. Nothing to see here, officer. Just a fanboy. There's smoke coming from somewhere for some reason. I think it's probably fine, though. It's probably just all the fucking crust burning off of it. You sit for 18 years, it freaking accumulates shit. All right, well, we've been hanging out at the American Legion, and I was just having too much of a good time talking to everybody who showed up that I forgot it's actually time to go. I heard Clyde's bike start up under protest, and I realized it is actually time to go. All right, we're rolling out. We got the old guard, the new guard. We got Mikey, How to Ride a Chopper, my man Erm over there on Panheads, Shovelheads, Evo Choppers. We got these young kids with us, just got their first bike. I'm being dead serious. This is what I love about doing YouTube. About the vastly different types of people that get drawn around, as evidenced by Erm and everybody else. I think that's so freaking cool, man. You gonna meet us over there?
Yeah, I'll play trail vehicle in case anybody breaks it down.
And of course we have the pink bastard from Parts Unknown, Boba Fett. All right, headed over to the Orpheum for the Rats and Wrath market. We love supporting our girl Kirby. That's why we got everybody out today. And of course, Shaylisi's already there setting up the Brapstar tent. Just when I thought I was cool, man. I thought I was gonna have the coolest bike here, but of course, we got and my man How to Ride a Chopper on the Panhead and the Evo while I missed the freaking turn light. Brought up an excellent point when he told me how much he likes the KZ1000, at least the police edition, and he's on that Panhead Chopper, by the way, the oldest bike here by a long shot. And he goes, man, I love those bikes because you don't mess up your sneaks, man. And that's coming from a dude who's in his 50s and he still likes to keep his sneaks clean. So don't feel bad about that, man. Everyone likes to make fun of Jack Steller and his white sneakers, but everybody likes a nice fresh pair of sneakers. He hadn't even made the first payment on it.
It don't look new though. Stay about that, man.
Thanks, boss.
That's the closest call I ever got.
Well, no one could. You could barely guess it, man.
He's a Panhead running around.
Not one that looks that good. And he actually rides his. He puts miles on that Panhead, I promise you. So does How to Ride a Chopper. That motorcycle got 100,000 miles on it. Oh, after I found out how fast this KZ1000 Police actually is, it's got a new name because it makes so much power. The fuzz didn't quite fit, although that's one of its titles, and its next honorific is the Power Pig. I really should ask one of my friends who's a cop if that's okay. But come on, man. The Power Pig? That just rocks.
The bad boys of broadcasting. The Power Pig. Power 93. If you ain't cranking it, you must be yanking it.
A 70-year-old motorcycle. 70.
Running and gunning.
God damn, dude.
Leave your girlfriend alone.
Man after my own heart, dude. See, I cut my teeth on saying, man, like we say, we might be good dogs, but we're still dogs, baby. You know, I couldn't go over here to Kirby's Market and not see my girl over here at Foot Stuff Rug. Like we always say, you know, I'm not a podiatrist, but I'll take a look, baby. I bet you're a size 7, huh?
Almost.
Almost? An 8?
No, smaller.
Smaller! I already messed up. I can't even guess again. I only get one.
Big slur.
And of course, my man here, right? Thanks for coming out, man. It was really great for a lot of these younger guys on the ride to get to ride with somebody who's been really just living hard his whole life. A guy who got away with it was my favorite person in the
I was
world.
gonna say it was tough, but man.
You make it look easy, my brother.
Anyway, so we're gonna go do motorcycle shit, which is called riding motorcycles.
I knew we weren't gonna keep you for long.
Nope, not a chance.
All right, Mikey, we'll catch you guys later. Be safe. Well, yeah, don't be safe. It's another day on an unknown timeline, and the Fuzz, the Power Pig, is making its first mail delivery, and it's an important mail delivery. Will it start? Oh yeah, that's right, clutch safety switch. I gotta take that out. Did I turn the gas off? Good boy. The Power Pig putting in work, baby. This is a very special delivery, and I gotta go up there and I gotta do something I usually hate doing, which is talking to somebody at the post office. But here's what happened. At the beginning of last month, we sent out a gigantic order of You Meet the Worst People on a Honda shirts, and the post office lost so many of them, literally an entire box worth of orders. We knew something was up when we started getting 1 or 2 people asking where their order was, and then all of a sudden we had a dozen and more, and we looked up the tracking numbers and they were all printed at the same time on the same day. They were all in the same box. How does this happen? I don't know. I could not tell you how this happens, but I guess it happens. Everybody who has been waiting, I appreciate y'all's patience so much. We reached out to everybody who, when I made a statement about it, we reached out to everybody via email and just said, like, I'll give you a refund, a complete refund if you want it, but if you want to wait for us to reprint the shirts, we'll reprint them and we'll resend them out. Well, that's what that box is full of right now. So in total, the post office lost $2,000. $2,000 worth of shirts, which is why I had to wait till I was printing some other shirts to get them made, because I don't know you guys, but that's kind of a hit. But it's a hit that we're going to take, we're willing to take, and we have to take, because that's just good business, man. You can't take money from somebody, promise them a product, and then have that product not show up. Like, I got people emailing me back saying, like, oh, I feel so bad. Like, that's not what I'm looking for. I'm not looking to feel bad. The way that we run Rapstar is the way that I think that businesses should be run. You offer a good product for a fair price, and when it doesn't come through, you know, you just got to take that one on the chin. The $2,000 worth of t-shirts, you know what? We're just going to have to eat that, baby. That's the cost of doing business. Shit happens sometimes. And, you know, unless you have your packages insured with the post office, you don't have a lot of recourse. And even if you do have your packages insured, actually getting the money out of them is a total freaking nightmare if you can even get it at all. What I am going to try to do is get back the $600 worth of shipping, because the $2,000, I'll take that on the chin. Cost of doing business, baby. That's just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. You don't win them all. It's impossible to win them all. But the $600 in shipping, after they're the ones that cost me the $2,000, I'm going to try to get that back. That's just insult to injury right there, baby. My hopes are low. I don't think it's going to happen, but I'm going to try. Oh, unsurprisingly, there was no one I could even talk to about it here. They said to go ahead and send an email, but that's real funny. Because when this first started happening, I've sent about a half a dozen emails, and not a single one of them has actually been returned. So I think that as far as getting my money back for the shipping goes, that's going to be a big fat no. But I had to try. The post office wins this one. UPS might emerge from this day triumphant, but Shade Tree Army and Rapstar, we lurk in the shadows, and we will strike back with force and fury. Good will never conquer, because good is dumb. Evil will prevail. Anyway, keep your eyes peeled on the mailboxes. All of your You Meet the Worst People on Honda shirts that got lost should be showing up soon. And if your second one shows up, well, you got 2 shirts now, because sometimes they still do, months later. I've had people that I've sent out replacements to that their stuff got lost by the USPS, and literally like 2 or 3 months later, their package will show up. So they might still get to you. If they do, just keep the shirt. You know, no one should have to wait that long. We were going to replace them anyway. That's just, again, doing good business and doing right by your customers, because all you guys who support us by supporting us through Rapstar, by buying t-shirts, pins, stickers, and which I hope that are worth it. I don't want anyone to buy it just because they feel guilty. I want you to buy it because you want it. We try to make excellent designs. I spend a lot of money on art. I make sure that our t-shirts are top quality and everything else is top quality. So I really make sure that everyone's getting what they pay for, which is a good product. But still, I appreciate each and every one of you who supports us through Rapstar, man. It's a huge deal. The Power Pig is back on the lift, but it's not back on the lift because it stopped running. It's back on the lift because I want to keep it running. It's pretty amazing that we can take a motorcycle that's sat for 19 years and be able to ride it around like it's a normal bike, but there are still some things I have to do to it. Not to mention the least of which is new rubber, but I'm not doing that today, although that is going to be necessary before I put any more miles on it. But what's also necessary before I put any more miles on it is a manual cam chain tensioner. If you guys couldn't hear in the video, there is a rattle coming from it at idle, but that's actually very, very typical of a lot of sport bikes, especially a lot of Kawasaki bikes. Even if you've got a newer one like a ZX10 or a ZX14, a lot of those suffer from cam chain problems as well, because the cam chain tensioner that's in these now is hydraulic, and they just don't always keep it as tight as they need to because this isn't a super high oil pressure bike. So they start to wear out over the years, and honestly, it's no use replacing with another hydraulic one. You just do a manual cam chain tensioner, you'll be a lot happier. Now, I didn't figure that out on my own. That is information that was given to me by Joe. It always helps to have friends who are smarter than you, and Joe said, get yourself one of these and you won't regret it. So let's see if we can get it in there. I definitely probably should have done this while the carbs were out, but hindsight's 2020. Yeah, that is not gonna be easy to get to. Maybe we can though. Let's see. Really, the top one that's gonna be a son of a bitch more than anything. Let's see here. Maybe. It's a whole lot of bends though. Don't think so. Got so close. Negative Ghost Rider. Last resort. Will Old Faithful let me down? And if I can even get it on there, will I be able to turn it? Oh, dude, it is just a little bit too big. Well, I tried, but pretty sure I have to at least loosen the carb bank and push it backwards, so thing's gotta come off. here's to hoping just sticking it up like that's enough, because removing the whole thing is kind of a pain. Well, that took a little doing, but it's out. Now let's see if we can get the new one back in, because that's gonna be a trick too. I mean, I got this one out, so I figure I can get this one in. Oh no. Typical. Alright, well, you guys can't really see in there, but basically the way their instructions go is you just kind of roll it in by hand and screw it in by hand until it's snug. Then you have to rotate the engine and make sure it's snug all the way around. Well, actually rotate the engine clockwise, don't rotate it counterclockwise. Make sure it's snug all the way around. And once you're like that, you back it off a quarter turn, tighten up the jam nut, and you should be done. We'll see if it ends up being that easy. Kind of important, don't know if you're going to be able to see it in there, but you see that little black O-ring on the cam chain tensioner. If you're tightening it up and that is not pulled back, if that's in there while you're tightening it up, that will give you a false reading on whether it's tight or not, whether it's actually hitting the chain. So make sure that's pulled all the way up when you go to screw that in, or else you are not going to screw it in anywhere near far enough. All right, now let's pull off the ignition cover and start rotating that engine. Like everything else on here, it got tightened by King Kong. Jeez, oh, dude. Wow, that made such a huge difference. All right, let's see if we explode the motor when we start it up. Moment of truth. Let's see if we still got a rattle. That sounds pretty damn good to me. Well, that went surprisingly smoothly. Let's hope the brake lines go the same way. I don't see why they wouldn't, but I've been trapped by that thought before. Oh shit, dude. I was hoping this would go smoothly, but these things are so long, I'm pretty sure they're supposed to replace the junction box too, which actually will work better than the junction box, but yeah, I didn't expect that. Well, that's where the Power Pig is gonna sit, but not because there's anything wrong with it. It's just because I'm not taking it off the lift till I put tires on it. I've been riding it around. It runs like a top. It's got new brake lines. The brakes have been rebuilt. It's got a manual cam chain tensioner. The bike is done. I mean, carbs are rebuilt, new air filter, new oil filter, everything's an adjustment. Literally all it needs is tires. This wasn't much of a project, especially for a motorcycle that was sitting for 19 years. Really just a testament to the KZ1000 motor, and especially the KZ1000P platform. Usually anything that the cops use is pretty dang tough and a pretty sure bet. It's why you see so many Crown Vics still on the road, and Dodge Chargers, and. The police put their stuff through a heap load of abuse, but they usually keep up on all the service maintenance on it. And even though they put up with a lot of abuse, trust me, no police department picks a motorcycle or a car that isn't ready to take it. Kind of fun to give this thing a second lease on life, and even more fun when it's a scumbag like me, an evildoer. This bike might have started the first half of its life as a hero, might have spent a long time fighting crime, but we're in the second half of the story. We're on its villain arc. Everybody loves a good guy gone bad, and I'm just the one to write that story. Speaking of another bike that really needs nothing, not even tires, talking about, of course, this year 2000 Buell Thunderbolt that's hiding right down there. This motorcycle has never even been on the lift, at least not my lift, and you know why? Because it doesn't need to. This thing has brand new rubber, it has less than 12,000 miles on it. It is, you know, not exactly showroom finish, there's a couple scuffs here and there, but this bike is essentially perfect. Just an absolute amazing time capsule in the history of American sport bikes, and especially American Harley-Davidson powered sport bikes. The Buell Thunderbolt was the first all-original Buell bike that was sold in mass production, and it's an amazing piece of history, and that could be your bike. How would you like a Buell, something that shares a motor with a Sportster, except that one makes 100 horsepower, it's got 6 piston calipers, upside down forks, and it just runs like a scalded dog. That can be your bike for 25 bucks. If you guys don't know about Forgotten Angels is a charity that Brapstar Garage supports and you guys support. All of us together are helping Forgotten Angels end the cycle of foster care abuse, and what we're trying to do is expand Forgotten Angels. A lot of you guys have been to the camp out. We're trying to expand Forgotten Angels nationwide. We're running a raffle where the grand prize is a house or $250,000. Take your pick. You want to be my neighbor here in Florida, or you want 250 G's? That's up to you. But in the meantime, this Friday, May 19th, this Friday, just in a couple days here, you can have that Buell, because I'm pulling a winner. If you buy a ticket for the house between now and Friday, I'm pulling a winner for that Buell, and you're gonna get a phone call from me. Don't accept anything else. Friday, keep your phones on you, because we're gonna have a live stream and we're pulling a ticket for that bike. If you want it, if you can see yourself on that Buell, and you also want to do a good thing, you want to help out somebody less fortunate than you want to make a sacrifice in your own life so someone else can get a step up. And trust me, this doesn't hit any branches on the way down, okay? There's no management fees. Dave and Cindy don't take a paycheck. You know, this money goes straight where it needs to go. And trust me, you might not think 25 bucks can make a difference in somebody's life, but if you don't think it can, you've never been as down on your luck as some of these people are who get made homeless by the foster care system on their 18th birthday. The amount of people that Forgotten Angels, the amount of lives that they've changed just here in Tampa is staggering. You guys wouldn't believe me if I told you. Hundreds upon hundreds of people that they've supported, helped. They have boys who've gone from being homeless drug addicts to one of them's about to buy their first house. Some of them go off to college, some of them go off to the military, and these are all kids that were, some of them go off to college, some of them go off to the military, and these were all young men that were on the street. A lot of them were addicted to drugs, a lot of them didn't even have a driver's license, no cell phone, they're living behind the dumpster at Walmart, for Christ's sake, because they got thrown out on their 18th birthday by a system that never did right for them. Guess what? We can change the world. We can be bad people doing good things. We've already been doing it here in Florida, and we want to expand this nationwide. And you know what? You might win a house. You might win 250 grand. You might win an awesome Buell if you buy a ticket before Friday, but that's not why we do this. We do this because we're bad people doing good things, and together, we're gonna change the world. Link to those raffle tickets down below. Make sure you grab one before Friday for that Buell. Until next time, y'all, keep it weird.
Crashing through the sky comes a fearful cry. Shade tree, army. Shade tree, army. Armies of the night, evil taking flight. Shade tree, army. Shade tree, army. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Panic spreading far and wide. Can the world oppose the deadliest of foes? Shade tree, army. Shade tree, army. Who will risk it all to end the evil call of Shade tree, army. Shade tree, army. They never give up, they never say die, walking tall with banners high. Shade Tree Army, a ruthless gang of scum, villains, freaks, and bikers determined to rule the world.